So when we think of the word affluence, we tend to think of money, especially when it comes to retirement.
But today we don't want to talk about money. We want to talk about time affluence, not financial affluence. Now, no matter where you are financially when you enter retirement, there's a very good chance that you're going to end up with more hours in the day to fill, which is what is this idea of time affluence.
And there's actually not more hours in the day.
Right.
It's just that your day used to be filled with your career and your work and your job or your kids
Right.
or whatever you were doing. And now it's all yours.
Right.
When we first retired, the thing we noticed right away was all this free time.
Right.
We were the 40 hours in, sometimes 50 or 60 hours in, and then boom, we had all that time to fill. And we looked at it as a gift of time to fill.
And at first, it was liberating. I remember that first Monday. We had no responsibility, no commitments, nothing. And we felt this new sense of freedom. But I also remember a few weeks later of having no routine and wondering, what are we going to do all day? And we began to think, is this really the way it's going to be every single day?
I remember you said, every day is going to be like a Saturday.
Well,
and I
that's
thought to myself, as a working mom, Saturdays were filled with running errands and grocery store and picking up dry cleaning and making sure the dog was okay. And I certainly didn't want every day to be a Saturday.
No, and I remember people telling me years ago when they were retired, and I'd go to Florida with a bunch of guys and we'd meet up with some of the guys who were retired, and I'd say, how is it? Well, it's great. Every day is like a Saturday. And it sounded great, but in practical terms, it really doesn't make sense. So we all have a vision of retirement. Ours was to sit back, take it easy, and do nothing, and that we tried that, and we
did
talked
try
about
that,
that.
yeah.
That didn't work.
Right.
But for us to figure out what to do with this new time creates a wonderful life that's different and fulfilling and joyful.
When you have a plan.
When you have a plan.
And we've come across some great people and some great clients that actually developed a plan to enhance their days, fill their time, and learn and connect with other people.
Yeah, just this summer we started keeping track of people that we met. So just yesterday we took our car into the Lexus dealership, and I got down there, it was pouring with rain. I didn't realize that they would deliver it back to the house.
Right.
So it came back to the house by Barry. Barry drove it. I started chatting with Barry when he got here. And he was in a big business for years, and he was involved with fleet safety and driving. He retired, and he got bored to death. So he had his car into the Lex dealer one day, and they chit-chatted, and one thing led to another. Now, 2 days a week, Barry picks up and delivers cars for clients, and he loves it. He loves the conversations.
That's right. And when we were up in Mystic, we met Mick, and we've talked about Mick before, and he's a boat traveler, but he's also a master wood craftsman.
That's right.
Who spends his time volunteering and teaching up at Mystic in the old historic village. He's done the Great Loop 5 times, but he spends his time going from place to place, offering his wisdom and working in nonprofit volunteering areas.
Sometimes he gets paid, makes a few bucks here and there, but a lot of times he just teaches people in marinas around the country how to do, boat care.
But the point is, he saw all of this time affluence that came his way. He noticed, and he was pretty candid with the fact that he had some bad habits that started to creep in and eat away at his time.
Right.
And then he figured out what to do with it.
And then there's this latest person we met. She has an Instagram account called Train with Joan. I don't know how old she really is. It's in there, but she's definitely over 65. And her business now, she's retired. She lost a lot of weight. Her daughter's a trainer. She helps seniors with physical fitness routines. She has a great website, a great Instagram account. But the thing is, all these people we just talked about, they have a couple things in common. One, they're physically active.
Right.
They're really taking care of themselves. They're moving.
And they're engaged in sharing their wisdom or their passions with other people to fill their time. Again, in this whole affluent time world that they've ended up in.
Right.
So let's talk about this concept a little bit more. We recently read a blog post by Fritz Gilbert, a financial retirement advisor. And his quote was, "Time is the rarest of all investments."
Right.
And as we were reading that, I said to Mark, there are some real interesting nuggets here. The first one is you get time for free, but you can never earn more of it.
I know, and this, we talk about time a lot, but this probably is one of the greatest gifts of retirement. You know, when you think back on your career, when you were working hard, 40, 50, 60 hours a week, other people owned your time.
Other people managed your calendar.
You know, a time you may have felt on the hamster wheel of life. You know, in retirement, it's critical to figure out the best way to fill this time.
Because you still get every day 24 hours.
It's going to be there.
And now it's yours to own.
And to squander it is not a good idea.
Right.
So the second takeaway we got is that once you've spent this time, you're never getting it back. You know, it's not like when you shop on Amazon and you order a dress or a shirt or something for $100 and you don't like it, you get to send it back and you get your money back. If you're sitting and scrolling through your phone or watching mindless TV, you never get that time back. It's gone.
And remember, this is all under the context of time being an asset that's yours.
Right.
So what you're really saying is you're spending the asset and you can never retrieve any return on that.
There's really no
I mean, you can never
return.
get it back.
No, and there's
you
no
get return.
Right. Well,
Right.
you get to watch TV or scroll through your phone.
Right.
You might learn a few things, but that's not a real good return on your investment. The other thing that drives us crazy sometimes is going out to dinner with people that, you know, they're a couple that we kind of like, but not really. And when we get home, we go, oh my
It's
God.
not very nice.
What do you mean it's not nice? It's just, you know, you bring these friends home that we struggle with because they're not fun to be around. Isn't that you that does that, or is it
No.
me? So if you're going out to dinner with someone and you wish you hadn't, you know, the time is gone. You know, sometimes you need to do that, but other times in retirement, it's okay to be a little more picky about who your friends are and what you do during the day.
The third element of thinking of time again as an asset is, and think about this, you can't save up time for a rainy day.
Like the idea with money.
Right,
Money you
you-
could save up for
Right.
any day.
So
You-
if this is really the most trusted and wonderful asset that you have, you can't save it. It spends for you all day long, right? Hours roll past. It gets spent whether you're awake or asleep.
right.
Right? It gets spent if you sit and look at your watch, you can watch the seconds fly by.
Yeah, there's nothing you can do about it. If you sleep late on a regular basis, that time is gone. You know, that time when everyone else is awake that you could be interacting with is gone.
But you can pick like a rainy day or something to just chill and spend your time that way consciously.
And
right?
we do that.
Yeah.
That's a luxury we have in retirement. If
Right.
it's going to be an awful Saturday or Friday or Wednesday or something, we will veg out and say, you know what, we're not going to go out, we're not going to work, we're just going to take it easy. It's something that's great about retirement.
Right.
So the fourth takeaway that we got is that you get time freely and you spend it until it's gone. So it's a constant flow. You know, a second comes in and it goes out at the same time. It's fluid. So what you do with that time is really, really important. You know, if you're going to sit and do meditation for 10 minutes, that's a great use of time versus 10 minutes of scrolling your phone, right?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, no, you're right.
Yeah.
It is.
I mean, you can
You know,
certainly
or
at least
30 minutes of reading a book versus 30 minutes of watching reruns of an old show.
Yeah, and listen,
You
there's
know.
nothing wrong with 10 minutes of scrolling your
Right.
phone or 30 minutes of watching reruns of an old show. But you also need to fit into this time some mindfulness, some reading, some learning, some social engagement. You can't just lay around all day and sleep. It just doesn't make sense.
Right, right. And I think the real big nugget in all of what we've said so far is reflect on your time.
Right.
Do you view it as an asset? And how are you spending that asset? Because I think that's really the mindset shift.
Yeah,
we're looking for.
how do you feel right now? I mean, what are you making the best use of your time every day? Or are you wondering, I wish there was some more interesting things I could do, but I don't really want to put the effort in. If you're feeling like you could be doing something different, we're going to give you 4 strategies to gain more time in your day.
And it's not really more time, it's more value in the time you have.
Right, more return
Right.
on investment.
Right.
So the
exactly.
first one is to rethink when you're awake and you're asleep. Now, it might sound kind of weird, but if you're a night owl and you go to bed at 3 in the morning and you wake up at 11, you're missing a good part of the day when things could happen. So maybe you want to think about starting to go to bed a little bit earlier and wake up a little bit earlier.
So much of what you consider magic happens in the morning,
Right.
because you're such an early riser and sunrises and all of that. For me, I have to do some of my personal time in the morning, my yoga, my journaling, my critical thinking. That's when I'm at my best for those items.
Right.
So get to know yourself and manage your time, your asset, into how it works for you.
Maybe your best time is in the afternoon from
Could be.
2 to 4. I mean, some people do have different clocks. But if your highest energy is between 2 and 4 o'clock, that's when you want to do your high energy activities.
The second thing you can do, and I do this quite often, and you do it for protein shakes and different
Everything,
things,
yeah.
is set an alarm that prompts you to, call a friend or call your kids or get up and take a walk or walk the dog or eat a healthy snack or something to break up the day, because you might remember when you were working and you go into your office in the morning with your cup of coffee, drinking part of it, and by the end of the day, you're still sitting in the same seat and there's maybe a third of the freezing cold cup of coffee left.
Right.
And you've lost the whole day in doing your kind of work, but the whole day got away from you.
Right.
If you can earmark things to do throughout the day, it makes your day or your assets seem a little bit longer.
Again, we're in retirement. So it's got to be fun and exciting and healthy and challenging. But if you just let each day go by without filling it with some fun things, it's, you're going to just every day go, oh, here's another Saturday. So we don't want that for you. So the third strategy is avoid bad trades.
Because again, this is an asset, right?
Right. Thinking about if it's money.
Conceptually, think about time as an asset and avoid bad trade-offs.
Right. Don't squander it away. Spend it wisely. Don't give in to temptation to sit and binge watch a bunch of shows 3 days in a row. I mean, binge watch on a rainy day, but don't do it 4 or 5 days in a row. It just isn't good for you. You're not getting up off the couch.
Right. And the opposite of don't squander and make bad trades are think about how you make good trades with your time.
Right.
Really begin to think of your day. Plan out your meaningful activities. Think about your health and wellness and when are you at your best? When do you have your most energy? When do you have the courage to try something new and put that in during different times of the day? But make your trades good trades.
So, time affluence. You have all this free time. We talked about some strategies around that. But here's the thing. Here's 3 tips, and this is some of the things that we do to help you get started. And the first one is simple. Just plan your day. When you get up in the morning, take a look at what you got going on and plan your day. Calendar time. Use a calendar for learning or teaching or resting or self-care, whatever it might be that you want to do.
And the second thing is, and this happens sometimes,
Right.
and it happens to us, it happens to friends of ours, it certainly happens to clients, and we talk about this idea of time affluence as an asset. If you waste time, don't regret it.
Right.
Just reassess, learn what you need to be different, try different uses for your time so that you're making good trades and not bad trades.
Yeah, retirement can be 30 or 40 years. So it is a long run, so you can afford to make some mistakes, but not every single day.
Right.
And the third tip, just make sure you do something each day or at least each week to treat yourself. Get a massage or a facial. Go to your favorite restaurant. Eat some of your favorite food. Do something for yourself as a treat. It really does help. When we enter retirement, a new life really begins, and you get this gift of free time. It's so important to use it wisely.
And if you want to ease into the process, then do that. Even take a gap year between your career and your retirement, like a blowout year. Do everything you wanted to do. Maybe even some bad habits, maybe even wasting some time, maybe even just relaxing, but then get it together. You have 30 years.
Yeah, try it. Try the gap year. But when that's over, begin the process of managing your time so it's not wasted. We hope you enjoyed this. Do us a favor. Please share it with your friends and also subscribe by clicking the subscribe button.
And if you can, join our free Facebook community. The link's in the notes below.
Thanks for listening, and we look forward to being back with you again soon.